the final scene. Now, Steve, I'm going to let you start on this one because I remember you texted me before I had seen it, and you said, I'm not going to spoil anything, but the last scene actually made me jump.
It did actually, yeah. Mainly because I just didn't see it coming at all. It was really like a jump scare moment where I didn't expect Helen to die. I expect maybe something to come to Marty or Wendy, given the situation they were in, but I did not expect Helen to die. And the ending was really amazing, and is a real. It's going to be interesting to see how season 4 begins. But yeah, I did not expect Helen to die at all.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming either. I thought something was going to happen with the birds, but did not at all expect that Helen was going to die. But I do find it interesting because I think he says something like "Welcome to the family" or like "We're about to begin" or something like that. And it's, I don't know. I found I don't know if you found this or maybe this was my own read of it, but I felt like they had like kind of sexual chemistry a little bit, like Wendy and
Navarro.
Navarro, yes, thank you. So I like, now that Marty's there too, like I'm interested to see where that goes.
That's a good point.
Because
Kate, you haven't been out of the house in a while, have you?
No, this is my quarantine speaking.
No, that's interesting. That could very well happen.
Even if it's not like sexual tension, but like there's like that relationship between Wendy and Navarro seems like more than business partners.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I was going to ask you guys, like, why do you think Navarro ended up killing Helen over one of the birds? And my gut reaction is that I think Navarro thought that Wendy had proved herself to be loyal and trustworthy because she actually ended up killing her brother.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think that was a big part of why maybe Navarro went with Wendy over Helen, because, a lot of Helen's activity in the third season was dealing with her daughter, her ex-husband. She was kind of all over the map, right? And a lot of her role when it came to like the cartel and stuff was almost trying to stop Wendy and Marty with what they were doing. So in Navarro's eyes, he could have just been thinking like this lady Helen isn't on the ball like she used to be. So I'm going with the new people.
Yeah, I think it was after watching it and digesting, I think there is twofold in my opinion. One was what you were talking about was Wendy proving herself. I think for a lot of it, Wendy was trying to look for, we need to seem more valuable as a couple than Helen. And Marty wanted to always de-escalate, but Wendy took that step to kill her brother. And that was a good thing in the eyes of the Navarro cartel, or would prove to be that they would be somebody that could be useful, or at least more so than Helen. And second, there were some loose ends that were starting to happen with Helen, both with her daughter knowing and her ex-husband, and so he just made that call, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I thought too that he might have found out that she went to the FBI and tried to frame Marty.
Oh yeah,
maybe like he might have had a mole or something.
Yeah.
In terms of like a season of television, I think Ozark is at a really interesting point in the series right now. Like it seems to continue to build. There's a few things here and there that I don't think have been as organic as maybe they should have been in terms of plot devices. A la like Ben's brother coming into the picture. I think that could have been a bit more seamless, but it was still very much like enjoyable and intriguing to watch. I will say, I think the best shows kind of rewrite their rules before like their viewers have a chance to get used to them. And I think a prime example of that this season was at least in the first couple episodes, I think most viewers would have thought, oh, this season's all going to be about the casino. And it turned out to be just kind of like a backdrop.
It's true.
A lot of different things happened, including her brother, including, the increase of like Navarro being a part of the picture, them kidnapping Marty. We didn't even mention that for a good 2-3 episodes there where he was away, being tortured essentially. So, it's a very gripping series, and I'm like really interested to see where season 4 goes. But yeah, I will say like Helen dying in the final scene and the way that was visually shot and produced was enough for me to say like, okay, this show knows what it's doing.
I'm very curious to see where Wendy's character goes from here. I think first and foremost, I think she was the one that in this season led the charge to want to be more involved with Navarro, and Marty wanted to keep taking a step back. So Marty was always on page with not being with Navarro anymore. And I'm wondering how the death of Helen will affect Wendy. Will she finally go to Marty's side and say, okay, we got to get out of this? Or is this going to be something that makes her go deeper in with Navarro? I think that her character will be, especially with Ben now dead too. So there's two things that might change her mind. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with Ruth and the birds, because especially now that Helen's dead and there was that, hinting that maybe Ruth would work with her. And now that she's not there anymore, kind of what happens? I mean, I'm assuming maybe something with Darlene or what have you, but to me that'll be an interesting development, especially because they've been in cahoots for so long.
Absolutely. And I just want to say, there should have been a scene about this, but rest in peace, Dr. Sue.
Yes.
They're going to hide the money in her mausoleum now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.